Hello, everybody. Where am I? I'm over here. Nice to see you. Nice to talk to you. It is Monday. It's our live episode of The Big Thing, and we got a lot to talk about, man. Apparently, Disney was hacked. The information leak. Well, John Roca's got his nose into these things. What does he know about it? Did he do it? Probably not. But we'll talk about it. And, Sony had a really bad leak a few years ago. So is this the same type of thing? Is this something to worry about? Are we going to find out all this information and all these? Remember all that stuff that happened with Pascal? Is that the same type of thing? Well, we're going to find out in the weeks to come, I'm sure. Is it even legit? Maybe it's BS and nobody ever hacked him at all? Well, we'll discuss it. There is a lot of other things going on in the world of movies, like the box office. What's the big box office numbers this week? Well, I'll tell you what the big surprise was with this. Longlegs made a lot of money. And for the amount of money it cost to make. And the opposite to that is a movie that probably shouldn't have cost as much as it did and didn't do very well was Fly Me to the Moon, which wasn't a bad movie. I actually liked it. It just shouldn't have cost $100 million to make, unless you're going to put it on streaming, is what I think. But who knows? You know what I'm saying? What else? We got a lot of other things. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. What's wrong with you? We have Agatha. And Agatha says they're saying it's scary, really scary, horror, so scary. And then the Avengers, speaking of the MCU, we got another writer bites the dust, and this time on Avengers. What's going on over there? And plus, we'll talk about that Terminator series. I didn't even know it was coming out, the animated series on Netflix. Well, that's coming out. Trailer dropped. We'll discuss. And then we'll take your questions. I already see there's tons of super chats coming in, tons of them. And that's what we do. We read all the stories, and then we read your questions. So start firing them in there now. We also have a clips channel that we just started. So if you want to catch things in little doses, interview clips and all that, I got Robert Eiler from The Sopranos coming on. How about that? That's going to be a good one, too. I'm excited. You should be excited. So we're getting the studio together. Got a brand new wall. Studio's doing good. Brett's working his balls off. And that's what I got for you. So it's me and John Roca. The live edition. Ready? Me too. Here we go. That's me. There we go. That's the way to do it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It is The Big Thing. And it is myself alongside John Roca. What's up, John?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing good, man. Yeah. Look at this. Stop it. Brett's gonna lose his mind. Some of it doesn't. It has. I love Mike Joyce. He's one of my favorite people, but it is. This does not resemble even close to a fucking dungeon. It's a nice wall that's gonna have pictures on it. Stop that, Mike. Brett's gonna jump out of a window. It does not. It does.
I was going to ask you if we were doing a House of the Dragon review, but I guess not.
We're gonna have pictures here, and all the pictures are gonna be back. Brett like hand painted these walls, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, they look like real brick, don't they? He like hand painted. Yeah. Anyway, so we are
fake paint. But go ahead.
It's looking good. It's doing good. Things are working. Things are moving. Things are grooving. And how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Just all is well.
Yeah.
Just recovering from the weekend. But yes, fun time.
Look, what I will tell you is this, man. In the world of entertainment news, Richard Simmons,
I know,
Shannon Doherty, Dr. Ruth. Come on.
I mean, I leaned over in the morning and told Lindley about Richard Simmons and Dr. Ruth on the same day, and she was like, "Well, who's the third?" And sure enough, the next morning, the Doho went. Shannon Doherty. What a shame.
Yeah, 53. She was battling cancer for a long time, but
breast cancer.
Really sad that all of them. Dr. Ruth was she lived a full life.
Yeah,
she lived a full life. She was like 93. Richard Simmons, was sick, but so was Shannon Doherty, 53, way too young.
It inspired me to go back and watch an old Kinnison bit on Dr. Ruth, which I haven't seen.
Oh, I remember that. It's hilarious. Really good.
Remember how much I love Kinnison, man. That was such a great bit.
100%. And we have other stuff, man. So we got other news to talk about here too. And this is something I saw, and I was sending the stories to John today.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on here? So let's let's start with this one, and that is, of course, the story about Disney. And it is apparently there was a Disney hack. That's what they're saying. They're saying it was a Disney hack. So let's exactly read it, and then we'll kind of assess what we think it is. So first of all, it says Disney allegedly hit by a data hack.
Allegedly.
Right? Allegedly. Multiple outlets, though, including Insider Gaming, Game Rant, and Comic Book Movie, are all reporting that a group is claiming to have hacked into Disney with allegations that 1.1 terabytes of data has been compromised. The group has reportedly gained access to the company's internal Slack, and the data in question allegedly includes news on unreleased projects and concept art. The group has reportedly not confirmed that the breach is legitimate, and Disney has yet to comment on the alleged hack. Following the claim, the group's website has seemingly been knocked offline. None of the alleged stolen content has been released online yet, though some are suggesting the recently leaked details of the unannounced video game sequel Aliens Fireteam Elite 2 might be the first sign. If the reports are true, this would mark the latest media company to have experienced such a breach, following in the wake of Rockstar Games and Insomniac Games suffering devastating breach in recent times. The reports follow in the wake of a 1-hour Marvel Studio panel being announced for Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con on Saturday, July 27th. Okay, so John, you hear this, man. You hear that this is, first of all, you think that this is legit, or you think it's somebody just strumming up nonsense? What do you think?
Oh, no, I think it's absolutely legit. And I'll tell you why. The fact that Disney hasn't come out officially and been like, this did not happen. Everybody calm down. This is not going on. We handled this. This was not an issue. This is clearly some organization trying to make their bones or their name off of us. And that's not what's going on here. And I'll tell you why, because recently, as I said last week, we bought a car, and we bought it from Kia. Kia works with this overall network that a number of dealerships across the country work with, and a group hacked that network to get details, people's personal details in that network, and all these dealerships had to go by hand and start writing out contracts by hand, like in the old days, because of the breach. And the people who are in charge of that company, they are going to pay the ransom. So that tells me that these data breaches that in the past were seen as occasional and you could negotiate, companies are much more paranoid about what these companies are going to do with that data, so they're settling. The fact that Disney hasn't said anything makes me wonder if there's conversations going on behind the scenes about how to minimize the damage here on their brand and minimize the damage on how much of that information gets leaked out. And Christian, I'm old enough to remember when Sony got their emails hacked and Amy Pascal
had to do a
bunch of crap for it. Yeah.
That's what I thought of immediately, was the Sony hack. Or the Sony hack cost people jobs. It cost people. It showed some of the smack talk on certain actors, on directors, on there's so much. I mean, if they hack that much, if they leak that much, and what they can actually get, and then other appearances, negotiations, announcements of titles of what's happening with certain big projects, whether it's Marvel, Star Wars, other IPs they're buying, the next Avatar, who knows? That's just, and you look at the stuff gaming wise and all that, it could be catastrophic to Disney if a lot of this stuff got out, especially when they're starting, because they had even though they came in second last year, which people don't realize, they didn't have the best year, and they still came in second. This year, they're already poised to annihilate the box office, because you got Inside Out 2, Deadpool's right around the corner. You got Mufasa, you have these other things that they're already starting to do pretty well and do well again. So the last thing they want is a hack at all. And I think you're 100% right. It's like, if it was nothing, they'd be like, no, this is just a lot of rhetoric and nonsense.
Right. Exactly. And you wonder what information could come out, right, Christian? Because I mean, it's not just the Marvel, people know what's coming. Because look, working with Jeff Snyder, I know there are a lot of loose lips in Hollywood. There are assistants, there are managers, there are agents, there are actors, fellow actors who are on sets. They're all willing to talk, junior execs, all willing to talk and reveal stuff, as long as they don't get it traced back to them, right? So revealing that stuff is going to happen. This other stuff, like, what about the Jonathan Majors stuff? What if we get information on how that whole decision went down? How early did they know about the situation? What is the truth about all of that? What is their thinking and all of that? So there's a lot of controversy that could come out of this hack if they go deep enough.
This is why, after the Sony thing, They
Yeah.
should have hired all the old time gangsters to be like part of it. Like, no more emails, no more. You get over, you come over, we'll meet downstairs. We just had a whole coffee shop put in there. Nothing's wired. Sit down. It's like no more emails. You understand? You gonna tell me about the new Marvel movie? Yeah.
It's the email thing, Tony.
You know what I mean? That's like yeah, we have Silvio. Not good. It's not good. Disney and the mouse. They know he's doing a movie. They're goofy. They show Donald's nudes. It's bad. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there, but that's not good news for Disney. If I'm Disney, I'm not excited there.
Yeah, especially now, right on the precipice of Comic-Con, dude. Jeez. Which I think the timing is why they did it. This is the perfect time to put Disney in trouble and get them to pay right now. So
yeah. I mean, but do they do that? Do they actually pay? You know, if it's like, or do you, it's like at this point, like, would you pay someone to be like, okay, please don't leak the information. Here's the money, and then what happens if you pay the money and then they leak it anyway? You just take the.
I know
you take the chance. You just take the punch in the chin. I think.
Yeah. The company, I was told by one of the car dealerships, one of the general managers, that it was $85 million that company was going to pay the hackers in order to not get them to release the information. So I guess when the number's high enough, you think I'll pay it because they'll actually adhere to what they say they're going to do. Who knows?
Yeah, I know, but that's, I mean, how much is that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, yeah. And then, I mean, and plus the fact they've kind of been already, this group has been run off the internet already. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen? But either way, it's a crazy time we live in. And by the way, we didn't mention Shelley Duvall, but that Shelley Duvall was, I mean, not that it was any less sad. It had happened a couple days beforehand. Did you watch House of the Dragon last night, by the way?
I did. I loved it. Yeah, we're gonna do our review after our show on the Geek Buddies. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about it.
It was really, really good. It led to a lot of stuff. So I don't want to spoil it. I know we did spoilers last week, but that was different. It's so funny and how this internet game thing that we play, John, with it's like when you're looking at an episode like last week that has all this action and these big moments.
Yeah,
the videos do well. I don't know about you, but both my videos that I did in this episode last night had a big pile of shit.
Well, we'll find out because I'm putting my reaction up a little bit later. And then
the talking episodes and the one I loved it. I thought it was it's so monumental to what's going to eventually happen in this series. And so many things happened last night that you're going to look back and go, oh, that's when that happened.
Yeah.
That's what kind of turned the tide. That's what gave them a new puzzle piece. That's like, but the audience is like, nothing big happened except people talking. So why do I want to watch somebody react to it? Why don't I want to watch somebody do a reaction to it or talk about it?
Yeah, they should have redubbed the episode House of the Dragon, The Next Generation, because it really was like all the younger children now coming to the forefront, and now we're getting this battle on two different generational levels.
It's true
between them, and so I think it's going to be fascinating what it all leads to. And trust me, next week, if what they're teasing in that season 6 or that episode 6 trailer is what they're going to explore and what they teased at the end of this last episode, there is fireworks galore coming. And some brutal deaths coming. So just letting you all know.
Well, what's funny is that I didn't actually watch the next week's preview.
Oh yeah, watch this.
No, because I didn't see that, and I didn't see the previously on because I had a screening link to watch it, and the screening link just shows the episode itself. Right. So, and I was like, oh. I was going to go back and watch it because I wanted to see it, but I'm like, do I? I don't know. I kind of liked not knowing what the hell was going on. And I also like sometimes, because I'm already so locked into the show, that sometimes, and I like that they do this, but sometimes I don't want to know. And that's like they do this preview. When you do the preview, they show basically the storylines that they're going to cover this week.
Oh, yeah.
And when you do, and it's good that they do that because it's like, oh, yeah. There's certain things that I know, and I didn't even watch the very beginning of it where they did the preview stuff. And I can guarantee you they showed certain things that I totally forgot about. Like, let me just ask you this. Did they show in the previous, like showing, when Aegon, when he promised the miner or whatever that he was going to help him out, did they show that? They show that right. And I knew that. I was like, when I was watching the episode, I'm like, oh yeah, I remembered it. It made sense that they showed that, but nonetheless, anyway.
Yeah. Do that on The Boys all the time.
I still need to watch that whole series, The Boys. I'm just watching The Bear right now. It's been tough doing. Are you seeing Twisters tonight?
No, not tonight. I have mine is next week. The 2 days before. Which
when does it come out?
Well, no, I know mine is tomorrow.
Yeah, what the hell are you
Right?
talking about? It comes
Tomorrow.
out.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I'm thinking Deadpool Wolverine. That's next week.
Yeah. You're seeing it tomorrow. Okay, I'm going into the city tonight to go see it. So I'm gonna go check. I hear good things. Good things.
Good things. I mean, good things.
They say no cows this time. But we're gonna put anyone nudes from Donald. We're gonna put him in there, swing him around, get him out of there.
Two of them. Forget about it.
Two. Anyway, I see a lot of people putting those questions in there. Thank you so much. Keep them going. We'll get to them. Let's get to this next story, man. Let's do it. And that's all about the box office right now. It's all about the box office because holy moly, this Long Legs did very well. But let's talk about it. Let's see. So the box office. I'm going to tell you what it is. Not unexpectedly, Illumination and Universal Pictures' Despicable Me 4 won the domestic box office this weekend once again with $44.6 million, a drop-off of just 40% in its second outing. The animated sequel has racked up $211 million domestically so far and $437 so far worldwide. The film has reportedly pushed past the $5 billion mark, the first animated franchise in history to do so. All headlines, however, are now focused on who came in second, namely Neon's serial killer thriller Longlegs, which delivered the best opening for an original horror film this year so far and the best opening ever for the distributor in 7 years of the operation. The Micah Monroe and Nicolas Cage-led film racked up 22.6 domestically, far outpacing projections the other week, which were more in the teens. The film was also clever economically. The production budget was under $10 million. Some outlets reporting considerably less. Its marketing budget also came in under $10 million. The film was going to go all digital route and relying on the film went all digital route. There was no network TV ads and relying on a smartly delivered campaign spread out over months. The other film that opened this weekend wasn't a success. That is the Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson led 1960s set rom-com Fly Me to the Moon. That came under projections at $10 million and in fifth place. That's a disastrous start for the film, which reportedly came in a budget of $100 million. It adds to the theatrical woes for the Apple Studios following Argyle earlier this year, which failed to crack $100 million despite a $20 million budget. $200 million budget. That was Pixar. Third was Pixar's Inside Out, further $20.7 million. Domestically, it sits at $572 and globally $1.35 billion. Fourth was A Quiet Place Day One with $11.8 million domestically, with its total now $116 million in the U.S. and $200 million worldwide. All right, John, let's talk about the success first. Let's talk about success first. Now, success could go with either. Let's talk Longlegs because even though it was number two, this is what we always talk about with: can you get a lower budget, good movie? Can you make it for under 10 million? Get enough stars in there? Probably give Nicolas Cage some points on the movie, and you put that out there for whatever it is, and the marketing side of it, very smart. They didn't rely on the big look at like Fall Guy, which had a big marketing campaign, spent tons and millions of dollars on billboards and talk shows and all these different things or whatever it is, and commercials, and didn't do jack right as far as what it was intended to do. And the digital side of things, pushing it digitally, did help this movie. I didn't see this movie. Did you see it?
No, I've not seen this movie. I will see it this week though. Jeff talked me out of it. He said he didn't like it too much, so I didn't go see it.
I love Jeff, but his tastes are hit or miss for me.
I know with horror, I always kind of defer to him, but then again, he's he can be quite the prickly dude. So depends on.
But success. It's a big success. There's no doubt.
I had no idea Nick Cage was in it until like a day or two before it got released. I just had no idea.
Do you know when I found out that he was in it? When I read that story just now. I had no idea that he was in it. All I knew about this movie, I didn't even know about this movie. You know how I knew about it? Because I had so many people on Instagram posts that had nothing to do with movies. When are you going to review Longlegs? I'm like, I don't know what that is. And now I do. But I didn't know what it was. I wasn't paying attention to it. I don't do what I used to do with like Ellis. Ellis and I would look at every movie, like the 3 big blockbusters that were coming out, the 3 independents. We would see everything all week. I can't do that anymore. But it was,
neither can I.
Yeah, I can't do that. But I do want to see it now. I'm curious about it.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, in the breakdown, which really surprised me, they're saying it might even be less than 10 million. That 10 million is just what they're what the accepted number is, but it could actually be less. And if it made less, if it was made for less, it made 22 million. I mean, let's say it was made for 7, right? It already made 3 times its budget in the first weekend. So, that's what I tell people. Like, if you're a horror writer, you have to be encouraged by this kind of stuff because it means you can make a movie. Like, I'm looking at what the Wangers do. I'm like, these guys, take the next step. Let's go. Take the next step somehow and get into that position because you just never know. With the shorts they make, the horror shorts they make, if they were to make one that's like an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half, who knows what could happen? So,
I mean, look, I bring up Night Swim all the time.
Oh yeah,
that movie. It's not that's Night Swim's not a good movie. It's not a good movie, but it costs nothing to make, and it made a profit. Because depending on when you put it on, this movie apparently is really good. People do like it, and it is for that amount of money to make that movie, and you can make 22 opening weekend. There you go. Now we stick with the positive, and Despicable Me, which we thought would be the #1 animated movie of the year. It doesn't seem like it's going to be, but it does seem like it's going to give Inside Out 2 a run for its money. That 40% drop is good for that movie. It's doing pretty well. So that and Inside Out 2 are doing very well.
Yeah.
So those are positives, as we knew that they would be, right? The one that is not shocking to me, although disappointing for me, is Fly Me to the Moon.
Yeah.
I liked that movie. I wasn't expecting to like that movie.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No. Again, I just
you didn't care.
I put down 2 screenings for that thing.
I went to that movie, and I wasn't, and when they invited me to it, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go check it out. I saw it with Tom Shadowbash, who I had never met before, and I had a chance to go and check it out with Tom, and great guy. And we had and we went and watched it, and the only negative I had about the movie was that they started the screening 20 minutes late.
Oof.
By the time it started, it was like 8:30. I'm like, come on, I gotta catch trains now. But the movie itself, I was surprised at how charming it was. I was surprised at but I remember saying to myself, if this movie costs anywhere past $80 million, as I was watching the movie and enjoying the movie, I'm going, if this movie costs it, how do they expect to make money on this movie? This isn't 2010. This movie could have debuted on Apple.
Yeah. I mean, and it is an Apple TV movie, so that is an Apple Plus movie. So then this is when I saw that it was that, after the Napoleon situation and after a couple of other Apple TV movies that I went to go see in the theater, I was like, you know what, this is going to be out on the service soon enough, and it's one of these kind of smaller films that isn't really that big of a deal for me to go see, so I'll just wait. And that's the way I approached that one. And I bet there's a lot of people who maybe saw the Apple TV logo on the poster and were like, oh, well, that's going to come out on TV, so I'm going to wait on it.
Maybe. And also, it's just that those are the types of movies these days that people aren't really going to see in the theater. And you got to, and if you are going to make those movies, you got to make them for the kind of budget that anyone but you had. You got to make it for those kind of budgets.
Well, and also, those are the stars you got to go for. Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell appeal to the younger demographic. No offense to Channing and ScarJo, but they're in a whole nother demographic where people are much more comfortable staying at home and waiting for those movies to come out. I don't see young people flocking to see a ScarJo, ScarJo Channing Tatum movie. They'll flock to see the ScarJo Jurassic because it's Jurassic World that's selling that.
I'll push back on that a little bit, though.
Sure.
Because I think the difference between those 4 actors, and maybe not in a year or 2 from now, but as of the time when they made that movie, Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum cost a hell of a lot more to put in a movie than Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney. If Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney cost the same amount of money that Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson cost, then anyone but you, or whatever that movie was called, would have been as much of a disaster as this one.
Exactly.
So I think we're probably both saying maybe the same thing, because but you can't make that movie. I think anywhere but you cost what, $15 million, $20 million, whatever it did.
Yeah.
If you make that, if you made that movie for $20 million, Fly Me to the Moon, then it makes 10 million this weekend. It's like, okay, that's not great, but it's not a disaster. It's got a chance to make its money back.
It was made for 25 million anywhere but you, and it made 220 at the box office.
Right.
But like, if you I think if you put Glenn Powell and Scarlett Johansson, maybe in Fly. But I mean, but then again, this is set what in the 50s, right?
It's set place. It's the
60s?
moon landing. It's a moon landing.
Oh, the moon landing.
It's
So
the end of 60s. Yeah.
yeah. So how many? I mean, like how many young people are going? Yeah, I want to go see
Well,
Channing
that's
Tatum's
true too.
Marco
That,
in
I,
a 1960s movie. You know,
I think that even if you put Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney, it's like how
Yeah.
many people want to see a moon landing movie? And I just saw people in the comments going, "This wasn't a trailer that really excited me." And I can understand it. Like I said, when I went to the movie, I said, "I like them. Maybe I'll like the movie." And I wound up really liking the movie. It's not one that I think that I would have if I wasn't doing this. That I would go out and go see. I'd wait for it to come out on cable so I can, or cable on streaming. So that makes sense to me. But I did say to my wife, I said, when that comes out on Apple, you should watch it. You're really gonna like it.
Yeah, I'll wait for it when it comes out.
I know.
You know what comes out tomorrow on digital?
What's that?
Horizon.
Oh, does it? You're finally gonna see it? You're finally gonna see it on digital. Does it come out on digital tomorrow?
Tomorrow,
man. Part two is gonna come out on digital, right?
They're gonna hand it out in China on the streets. Part 2, and there's one of those doctored boxes of DVDs. Come on,
they should have waited a little bit and then just put the whole thing out there like a special event. Like
that's actually not a bad idea. That could have been a way to go because you know you're gonna lose it anyway.
Like you put it, you release it on digital, you know, and then you say on HBO Max we're premiering it. Yeah, on HBO Max. You can't put that second movie on the theater. When we talked about this in summer movie previews and all that stuff, I was saying to you, I'm like, what a risk to put a 3-hour Western out and then the other one comes out 2 or 3 months. And I said, and I can't remember who was it? I said it to you or did I say it to Jeff? I can't remember. I said, if that movie doesn't do well, do they? I said it to Jeff. I said, do they definitely release that? He goes, it's not their money to lose. I'm like, that doesn't matter. They're not going to release that movie. Well, they're definitely not releasing in August. They already said that.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not about losing the money. It's about brand saving, right? And how much does this damage our brand to release this second movie in some stubborn, pig-headed desire to get out these movies because we committed to them. If people are attaching bad movies to your studio, and look, we all know inherently studios all have bad movies, but you know, in the summertime, that just makes no sense. So yeah, why put it out? So when they delayed it, as we talked about last week, I wasn't surprised at all. You know,
well, they needed to save some money for sure. Yeah. And if they would have had Built, they could have done it. So let me tell you about Built. Built money.
Hey,
Built's the best, man. You want to save some money? I've been telling you guys about Built. It's really great. And I think there's so many people that have been signing up to it because they've been listening to it and paying attention to it. Because this is really, especially for renters, you got to listen up, renters. If you feel like you're stuck in this loop of rent payments, you're just watching that money vanish into thin air, it's time to turn the rent game around and start earning some serious rewards. And that is where Built Rewards comes in. Because people often throw shade on renting. They call it a bad long-term deal. But what if I told you that with Built Rewards, your rent money, it's not just paying the landlord, it's secretly plotting to fund your future home. That's right. Built's got the inside scoop on turning your rent into a legit investment in your home ownership today. All right, so listen, we've been there. Feeling like we're burning cash with those rent checks, it's frustrating. But here's the deal. Built Rewards has figured out a way to make rent more rewarding. You say goodbye to the money bonfire and hello to a renter's revolution with Built. So Built's breaking ground as the first rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent. So even if you're rocking the old school rent check vibes, it's got your back. They'll email the check for you. It's like having a personal rent paying assistant. Every month, pay your rent and watch the Built points run in. So pay rent hassle-free through the Built Rewards app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. Built points have been consistently ranked the highest value point currency by the Points Guy and Bankrate. So earn points by paying rent right now when you go to joinbuilt.com/big thing. That's joinbuilt.com/big thing. Make sure to use our URL so they know that we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/big thing and start earning points with your rent payments today. And I got to tell you about CREMO. That's right, man. So I think you guys also have, last week when I was telling you guys about them, I got so many people, I can't even tell you how many people I said, yeah, I use CREMO. I use it so many times. I've been using CREMO, and before you even told me about it, Harloff, I knew it. Because for me, after working in the studio all day, I want to go home and I smell like an alley cat. I want to go home and take a shower and relax. So I love going out on the weekends, but you know, sometimes my friends, they want to visit some really nice places. It means I want to smell nice. My wife and I would go out. I'm like, you don't want to, like I said, she want to go with like a mountain lion who's been sleeping in garbage. She wants to go with someone smelling nice. And that's where CREMO comes in. So you want to elevate and you want to enhance your hygiene routine with CREMO Body Wash. It combines a rich lathering and hydrating formula with meticulously balanced, multi-layered fragrances for a superior shower experience. So I used it. We were working in the studio here really late, and so I was like, okay, I used it. I felt great right away. So CREMO works with master perfumers to make sure that every body wash scent is blended and refined, and their hard work definitely shows. Every wash that I've tried smells like it's like really high-end cologne. So I really dig it. I like the new Bourbon Vanilla men's body wash, which I've been using. It's really good. Yeah, it's really, really good. So, it gets me clean and it relaxes me after a long day. So check it out. So what makes them different from other ones is that they have that distinct layered scents, and it evolves as you wash. So you can find CREMO's men's body wash in its new distinctive Bourbon Vanilla scent at Walmart. You go to walmart.com. That's it. That easy. Walmart.com. All right. So John, I'm hoping that we do these things together, these shows, and I'm giving you all these deals.
Yes.
I'm hoping that
Are you hoping that I smell better? You son of a bitch. Is that what you're trying to say?
I can smell you from here. San Diego stench.
My swarthy fish smell from San Diego.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been the Italian food here. I don't know how people kept telling me what I did. Speaking of flying me to the moon, I've never had so many compliments in that review about people. Like, look at you. You look all. I'm like, I've been eating pizza. I don't know. I was like, I don't know how that I still. I mean, I think that maybe because I've been walking around a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe losing it.
Well,
but man, it's like Italian food here is no joke. I forgot how good the Italian.
It's fucking New York, of course. What do you expect?
I know, but it's like you think about it, but you take it for granted until there's a place like right here last night, like we did because Brett's here, right? So we did this this family meal plan that this Italian place has, and it's like just over $50, but you can it says it feeds 6. You can feed 60. It's like all the marinade, like the meat sauce and with chicken masala, and like it's insane. It was really good.
Wow.
Anyway, really good. Okay, so we got some more stories here, and then we're gonna make because John's got a heart out, and so do I today because we're gonna try to catch this train. But we're gonna talk about some of these other stories.
Let's get it.
You know what? Before I even do that, why don't you give a quick plug to your channel while I go to the news right now?
Yeah, if you guys want to come hang out with me on the Outlaw Nation, I'd love it. Head on over there, youtube.com/John Roca Says, doing a bunch of things like the Boys reviews, the Acolyte reviews, the House of Dragon reviews, all with the Geek Buddies. You get my reactions as well. Also got the Jedi Way. We just dropped our review of the Acolyte over the weekend. A lot of fun with Kevin and Laura. And, of course, the Hot Mic with me and Jeff Snyder doing our thing every week, going crazy about the world of entertainment for an hour and a half. And Spill the Tequila will be coming back this week with me and Winston A. Marshall. Might be turning into a weekly thing. And I'll tell you this, the wrestling show is coming back under a new name with Aaron Turner, with Christopher Burns. So we will be back talking all wrestling every week coming soon. We're going to debut just before SummerSlam. So it's all going to be on the channel. And Christian Harloff, I can smell NFL football in the air. So Game Time will be back on the channel as well. Everything's coming back to the Outlaw Nation channel, so come and hang out with us.
Good.
And maybe there'll be a little other talk like the Nation happening as well, considering what happened this weekend. So there'll be stuff coming down there. Come and subscribe.
There's a lot going on. Sure. And I would mention at the top, I have a couple things myself. I started a clips channel because because we have a lot of interviews coming. Speaking of Sopranos, I said we got AJ Soprano himself coming on the show. Robert Eiler is coming on. We're coming in studio.
Let me tell you something. I listened to his podcast with Jamie Lynn.
Yeah,
a great pod. When they had David Chase on, that was a fantastic interview.
I saw the moment that when Robert Eiler asked David Chase, like, what do you think? I think my best acting was, and David Chase knew. Nice. It's like the diner outside. That was a great scene.
Outside the diner.
So we'll be talking to him, and a lot of those clips will be there. So all right, let's get to this news story because this is one that I think is interesting to say the least. Avengers 5 loses its current writer. There's a new report that is suggesting that the next Avengers film, a project that has already burned through a number of names, has now lost its current scribe. Nexus Point News reports that Michael Waldron has parted ways with the production. News came in November last year that Waldron, who was already set to write the sixth Avengers, will instead pen both films. At the time, he replaced Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania writer Jeff Loveness, who was previously attached, and joined the project just weeks after director Destin Daniel Cretton departed the film to focus on other Marvel projects as a Naruto film adaptation. The outlet didn't provide the reason for his exit, but as Waldron had been working on it for some time, if the report is accurate, it's very possible he's completed all the work required and another scribe is coming in for a final polish. Alternatively, there could be more to it than that. Either way, Marvel has plenty of time, as filming on the new Avengers isn't slated to begin until March of next year. It's rumored that up to 60 MCU characters could make an appearance in the new movie, which could be more of an ensemble piece as opposed to prior entries, which focus primarily on its small core group of heroes. The fifth Avengers is slated to hit cinemas on May 1st, 2026. All right, John, you hear this. Would you go the more optimistic route? Do you go the what the hell's happening? They keep losing it. Where do you go with this?
I mean, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good that they keep. I mean, now you have no director, no writer, and no villain concretely placed for this particular movie, and you've got Comic-Con in less than 2 weeks. So I'm gonna go on the side of Marvel knows what they're doing. They're dropping Waldron now quietly because they're going to make a big splash announcement at Comic-Con for Avengers 5 and what they're going to be doing going forward with the MCU. Like, obviously they're going to have a big panel there, but they need to have a gangbusters panel. So what do? You quietly let people go, move them off projects, because you're going to announce new people. And if they announce the Russos at Comic-Con, that is massive. And so if you want to get people excited again, that's how you do it. So to me, that's what I think maybe we're leading to, because I'm being optimistic. Pessimistic means, Jesus, they're just keep messing this up.
There's no world where they get the Russos. There's no world.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I don't disagree with you that they should, but there's a whole report that there was apparently they were shot down and this. And I think for some reason it's over. Plus, they're one of the reasons where they're rumored that they didn't want to have the Russos is because they really boost up the budget in the first place, right? But the fact it probably costs a lot more now these days in order to do it. So you're trying to scale down, and if you're having problems, but I'm going to choose to go the optimistic route with Waldron here. Is that I think that maybe they're right. Maybe he finished up his work. He's like, I'm not, I came in to do a couple of things, and now I'm done. So here's what it is. It's not like completely scrapped. This is what I did for you. I made it work with the stuff, because he did the Loki stuff too, didn't he?
Yes, he's Loki.
So it's like he's got a good relationship with them, and he knows how the machine works. So he's like, okay, I did everything I need here. Here's this. Yeah. If the report was that, okay, he really, like, they couldn't see eye to eye. They asked him to go this particular route. He was going this way. It was like, and it just, they couldn't creatively, they couldn't figure it out, or scheduling or whatever. It's like, I don't know. I kind of buy the fact that maybe he finished the work he was supposed to, and it's not. And if this was like right before it was supposed to start shooting or something, but they still have a little bit of time, they're still developing it, and this kind of stuff happens all of the time. So I'm going to be a little optimistic with this one. I think that they are, whether it's Blade or a lot of the Avengers movies that they're coming up, they're losing directors, they're losing. It seems like, I'm like, what am I reading? Am I reading the Star Wars report or a Marvel report? Because it's and so I'm gonna be a little optimistic on this one, though.
You are. Where do you think they go, though? Who is out there do you think they could look at?
There's tons of writers out there. The writer
director, or do you think writer separate, director separate?
I think you get a director that's obviously going to help with the creative process, but I think you get people that, depending on what the tone is, because that's our biggest thing when we're going to guess here. We just don't know what the tone of this thing is. We don't know where they're going with it. That's another reason I'm optimistic. I think that they have a clear-cut vision of where they're going with it now, as opposed to a couple of years ago, where I didn't care how many people kept telling me, oh, they know where they're going. They had no clue where they were going. And they didn't, because they had, what's his face? Chapek telling them to do 75,000 different things. So they're like, oh, that one will connect to that. Somehow we'll put Shang-Chi, put an end credit scene with that. Oh, Harry Styles available. Throw him in there. Yeah, we'll use him eventually. What do we do? And now I think they actually know what they're doing. I think they have an idea of where they're going with this and leading up, because if they don't, they got major problems, because even though it doesn't come out in a couple of years, it's still a couple of years.
Yeah.
And so I do think, though, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just being optimistic here, but I do think that this is not one to get nervous about. If they lose somebody else with Blade again, then scrap the whole damn thing. If they hire another somebody with Blade, scrap the whole damn thing and just wait on it and do Blade at a different time, because that thing might just be cursed.
Do you think they're opening the door for Sean Levy? Do you think they're going to announce Sean Levy at Comic-Con?
But he said no already.
Yeah, that's what the story is, but
Yeah.
we don't know for sure. So do you think?
Nah.
Listen, Jonathan Tropper news last week with the Star Wars thing. Do you think they're opening the door?
Nah, I think Sean Levy wants to do Star Wars, and I think Sean Levy also wants to take a break from Marvel and stuff. And I think that the difference, what I was thinking is that when he's making a big ass huge movie like Deadpool and Wolverine, he's doing it with his buddy.
Yeah, that's true.
He's doing it with his buddy, and he's doing it with his friends, and he's like, and it's like once now, because you did such a good job, and now you're hired on to do this other big thing where you don't necessarily know Ryan Reynolds is going to be anywhere near it,
right?
You're not. It's like now you're just kind of this hired gun, and you're not doing. He's been making movies for fun lately, and that's successful. His movies that he's having fun making them, and I think he realized, and I don't know if I'm going to have fun doing this, but Star Wars I'm going to have fun doing. I want to do it. So I think he's gonna, and he might be rudely awakened when he starts getting all the notes. But then again, he might wind up making something that finally people go, finally, you know what I mean?
Filoni said, "Where's all the cute animals?" Filoni said, "Where's the creatures?"
Yeah, exactly. So but I'm gonna stay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay a little optimistic.
Maybe Coogler. Could be fun.
Which is also possible. And I would actually love that. But the question is the same. It comes to the same thing. It's like, eventually Coogler's been making movies that he likes making, fun making, like, and he had a really big burden, obviously, that nobody wants to, and he had, with Chadwick Boseman passing away and what he was able to do and turn it around. But the Black Panther stuff is it's that, but between that and Ironheart, which I don't necessarily know needs to be a show, I think that they tried to make that character work in the movie. I don't think that she did, but he's clearly passionate about it, so I think he's working on that one. But it's the same thing. Does he care about an Avengers movie? I think more so X-Men would be interesting for him.
Oh yeah, that could be fascinating for sure.
Fascinating. All right, let's move on to one more story, and then we will get into your questions.
Let's do it.
I got a few questions.
Let's do it.
Questions. Let's do this Terminator thing, man.
Okay.
Did you watch the Terminator?
I watched like three times this trailer. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm trying to tell my wife I actually do have a screen.
Okay. I'm trying to understand the trailer. Like, it's from the same company that did Godzilla -1, I think. And so, obviously not live action, but fascinating. And Zoe Kravitz, good voiceover.
So, was it Zoe Kravitz? I thought it was Rosario Dawson.
Is it Rosario? No, I thought it was Zoe.
I mean, again,
I'll look it up.
You're probably right. Anyway, so this is a trailer I didn't even know was coming out. I didn't know they were making an animated series. And I saw this and I said, this looks
maybe you're right. Looks like you're right. Is Rosario or Sonaya Mizuno? I don't know which one it was. Who was
okay. All right. Well, it looked good.
Yeah.
I like that this is a good style for this movie. It really is. It does make me upset in a way, because I'm like, it just but not the trailer itself, but like the idea that you can this story is still ripe for real stuff. Like you can make it dark, you can make it work, you can make good stories out of it, you can bring emotion out of it, and you don't have to do this highfalutin, over the top, freaking $200 million Terminator movie. And I know that you and I are a little different on you like Terminator 2 better than 1, and most people do.
Yeah, sure.
I like 1 better because I like the simplicity of it. I like the idea. Like, yes, I don't disagree with you that if you watch it now, like here's an example. It is dated in the special effects, obviously, but it was also the catalyst for a lot of the special effects that we have now.
True.
But I showed the Terminator, the first movie, to my 12-year-old, right? See. Now, the funny thing is, to validate your point, the scene at the end when there's like, he's coming out of the junk heap, the Terminator, which terrified me. Yeah. She laughed and said, that looks ridiculous, right? But she loved the movie. Right. She loved the movie itself and thought that the movie itself, and she didn't finish Terminator 2. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Not that she was, I don't know if she just didn't want to finish it. I don't know why. But I think Terminator 2 is a great movie. Yes. I just like the idea, and this is coming from someone who's more of an action fan than a horror fan. I thought that the first movie is more of a horror science fiction film that really works. And that's what I got. I got the vibe out of that in this animation trailer.
Okay.
Really, I'm hoping that someone will knock some sense into somebody and show, like, because that's Terminator is a property that you can do exactly what you were talking about before with the anyone but you type scenario.
Yeah.
Just find a couple up and comers,
Yes.
and make a small $40 million Terminator movie.
Yeah.
That's it.
It can totally work doing that way. I mean, look how Prey did, right? And I know we reference Prey all the time.
Yeah, it's a good reference.
But it's valid what happened. The style they went down, the approach they had there, as you said, they paled it down. We don't need the massive explosions. Also, the thing that we fell in love with is the first movie. And so going back to the spirit of that, because we've gone so far out, it makes it somehow unique to go all the way back
right
to the beginning. So strip it down and go back to the basics. People will love it because the story itself and the characters are of interest,
100%. So I ask you guys, though, what do you think about all of this? Do you think that Terminator, do you think it was a good trailer? Did you think that it works? Let me know. I want to know exactly what you're thinking. Please and thank you. And now we're going to get to your questions, because you guys have a lot of questions. We're going to answer them. Super chats, and you can still throw them in there. The way it works is we go through all our topics, and then we go through all your questions, the last ones here. And before I do, I wanted to also thank you guys for understanding. I get people all the time saying, hey, I heard you, and I got one of your sponsors today because I didn't even know that you had that, and it's helped. And I think I get that all the time with AG1. And so obviously, I'll tell you about AG1. Here you go. And Joy Mode. Yes, Joy Mode is back. Of course they are. And I got to tell you about AG1. You guys know AG1. I mean, if you've been listening to this show long enough, you know that I love AG1. And people keep asking me. They notice. John even said when I started, new look, 20 pounds I lost. One of those reasons, AG1 became part of my routine. Because for a long time, I wasn't paying attention to what was going on in my body. It just wasn't. For me, I read labels. I verify that everything is up to the quality I need. And that is why I've stayed with AG1 for as long as I have. It is a research-backed foundational nutrition supplement. And it delivers daily nutrients, gut health support, and is backed by multiple research studies, so you can trust what you're putting into your body. Because I like coffee. I used to drink so much coffee to keep up, but I don't need it anymore, not as much. Because after drinking AG1, I have realized that I have all this energy and I need less coffee to power my day. It turns out I'm not alone. Because in a research study, 91% of people noticed they needed less coffee after 60 days of drinking AG1. 97% of people in a research study felt more energy after 30 days of drinking AG1. That's crazy. 91% of participants noticed that they need less coffee after 60 days of drinking AG1. That's me. Energy is a majorly important reason why it comes to I need so much energy for parenting. I can tell you that right now. AG1 contains ingredients to sustain energy so you can be the best version of yourself within each day. And it really has worked for me, and it's helped me on the plane, everything. It's easy, it's satisfying to start your journey with AG1. If you go to AG1 and you can get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase, you got to go to drinkag1.com/bigthing. drinkag1.com/bigthing. It's the one product I trust to support my whole body health. It's AG1. All right. Obviously, I want to discuss with you guys Joy Mode. Now, I've been telling you about Joy Mode forever. And Joy Mode, and people, when they hear about Joy Mode right away, you go, well, I don't need that kind of stuff. I'm in the prime of my youth. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with the primary youth. You want to tell Roka, say, I don't need that just yet. I'm like, we ain't talking about you can't make it work. It's talking about when you go to the gym, what do? You take a supplement, you go, whoa, that helped me out. It's like energy. Well, you're feeling good, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to go on the freaking a lot of people go to those gas station lines and they look over those cheap pills and they think that's going to work. Yeah, they don't, and they hurt you. You wake up, you feel like crap. I've taken one of these things before, and you're like, oh, not particularly those, but other ones where it feels like a hangover, and you don't want that. This is like a booster. It is an absolute booster, and it's the shit. I'll tell you right now, it's really good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let me tell you, it's really good. And people were saying, do you like this stuff? How do you feel? I feel like, as Jesse Ventura said, goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus. I'll tell you that. It is no joke. I love Joy Mode, and people have been excited about Joy Mode and keep using it. And all you got to do, you want to get 20% off. You go to usejoymode.com, you get 20% off. You got to use that code big thing. I mean, how appropriate is that? You go to usejoymode.com, 20% off, and use your big thing, or use big thing code, even better. So there you go. That's all I got to say about that. They're both great, both wonderful. What do you think, John? Good stuff.
Okay, Forrest. I'm glad that you all you have to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that. But Joy Mode's the best.
That's great.
Best. I'm telling
you. Yeah.
I like it's like so funny when my friends come over. I go, come here, I got something for you.
Out of the downstairs of the basement. Come on down.
Take this. All right, let's get to some questions on them. And once again, for people who all the links are in the description for the sponsors. And like, I'm not bullshitting. When you get something for yourself, one of our sponsors, you're helping out this show like tremendously. The reason why we're able to do these shows for as long. So here we go.
Okay.
Jacob Pynchon, finally catching live because finally catching live BC and NYC. I don't know if I get that. The pizza, because he's in New York, I'm not sure, but the pizza is unreal. Yes, it is. I was on the lookout for that balsamic slice, but no dice. Off to LA. Okay, he was traveling. Then San Diego Comic-Con before heading back to Melbourne. Okay. Oh, and legal weed is the best knees. Hilarious. It's so funny in the office space that I'm in now.
Yeah.
Someone was like, there was like a company like email that went out about like, oh, please no smoking in near the buildings or whatever too. And I think someone was smoking a doobie or something, right? But they were like, looking at me. I'm like, I'm not. You're the new guy. I'm like, what? I'm trying to interview people over here. I'm just smoking doobies in the corner.
You're the one wearing a hoodie.
That's true.
Where's the doobie?
What are you doing? Where's the doobs? Where's the doobs? I get blamed for doobies already. Been here for like 2 weeks. Johnny Venerable. Hey. Sounds like we're getting some major cameos in the Acolyte finale. Oh, really? Plagueis or Tenebris is my guess. Maybe Yoda shows up. Your prediction. I didn't know about the cameos. Did you know? Is that tonight? No, it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. How can Plagueis be a cameo if we don't know Plagueis in live action?
Well, I mean, maybe reveals more so, but yeah, I know what he's saying. But I think that if it's going to be a cameo, it's got to be Yoda. I mean, that's the only cameo.
Yoda's the only cameo.
Cameo. I mean, the cameo wise. But if it's like reveals, I mean, I don't know, like Darth Revan freaking hologram or something. But it's like, I don't. I mean, I hate to say it because every time I talk about this show, I seem like I'm just like poo-pooing it. But I don't want them to waste any of that stuff on this show.
Yeah. Like, why would you do it right at the tail end of this show? You know what I'm saying?
This show isn't even about the Sith. It's about two twins that no one gives a shit about.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's about. So it's like, don't start throwing stuff in there because like, well, no, season 2. That's what season 2 is going to be about. No season 2. No season 2 of this show.
I know. When she mentioned season 2 in an interview, I was like, what?
It's like, but they're not. It's like they're not. It's like they're not living in reality. It's like you can't. I think that's the problem because there are so many people who legitimately are just like hate mongering morons, right? There really are a lot of people, and so you can lie back on the excuse of that's everybody who doesn't like it. That's not the case with this show,
right? No, there's a lot.
Yes, so many like real criticisms on this show, and they're ignoring it, saying no. It's only the hate mongering morons. It's not, guys. It really is. All right, we did that one already. Okay, so as far as cameos and stuff too, I don't know. I don't know. Yoda would be the only one, but
does Luke show up at the end to save them all? I don't know.
Who knows? Perfect. Mike Joyce, would you agree that the online reaction to the Acolyte shows Star Wars fans only want simple stories? No, I don't agree with that at all. Nothing beyond Jedi Sith good, Sith bad. No, I don't agree with that at all. I think that the online reaction shows that people want good writing. I think that it wants because I think that Andor is not a simple story at all. And I think that there's a lot of people who love that show. I mean, and I think that you can treat this stuff with more than just kid gloves. And I think that they haven't done that. And I think the writing has been super lackluster on these shows, but no, I don't agree with that at all.
It's nonsense.
Yeah. Mike Joyce, the amount of vitriol directed towards the Acolyte seems excessive to me. Well, that's understood. What's a show or movie that you felt got an unnecessary amount of hate? What's a show or a movie that you felt?
Oh, Richard Jewell. I thought Richard Jewell.
Did that get hate?
Yes. Oh my God. From the liberals, from the liberal critics who were so upset about the film because it was Clint Eastwood directing it. And they were like,
steal yours then.
They were like, a reporter would never sleep with anybody for their sources.
Yes, I remember.
How dare you insinuate that? The fuck? We live in the real world, man. You know, and so watching people go after Richard, and that was an excellent film. I thought Paul Walter Hauser was excellent in that, and Kathy Bates, everybody involved in it was. Sam Rockwell was devastatingly good.
Great movie. I like that movie a lot.
I think it's one of the best Eastwood films he's ever directed. And everybody went after it because there was like, oh, it's a right wing point of view, and oh, it's turning the reporter into a whore. No, she used to get information. People do it all the time. Male reporters have done it. So give me a break. So yeah, I thought that.
Well, I'm so bad at the on the spot questions. Every time someone asks me, I just not great with it. I think about it because I like, oh yes, I'll be on the train later going, oh, I should have said that. Paul Still Jones, Simon Section. I don't know about you guys, but I'm eager to see if there's any YouTube conspiracy showing parallels between the Cap 4 trailer and the incident that happened in Pennsylvania. Ross looks okay. I don't know. I mean, that's a tough one for us to even go down that road.
Not the show for that.
No,
for sure.
Not as far as that goes. The answer to your question is, will someone have a video about it? People have videos about everything.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so maybe. But thank you for the question, Shay Mark. Well, oh man, I'm fired up today, boys. I hope you're happy and healthy. I wish you the best. Thank you, Shay. You're always very, very kind and always a person who comes in every single damn time with questions and support. So thank you. And you follow it up. Not claiming this man is a saint, but I believe that Aemond is the second most level-headed character on House of the Dragon. He's never harmed anyone who didn't harm him first. He just chills, and is loyal to one woman. I don't disagree with you that he's level-headed. I think that he's a lunatic. I think that he is emotion heavy, that he reacts on his emotions though. But even though he does go after people who harm him, his reaction when he does, he's got pure strategy. He's way more dangerous than most of the characters. Even Daemon knows it himself. So I agree with what you're saying. He is pretty level-headed. But when he's not, he's super dangerous.
Yeah, which is what Allison is afraid of, as you saw in the episode this weekend. So who knows where it's going to lead? They may get what they wanted, but they may not like what they get when it's all said and done.
It does make me upset, though. I'll tell you this: when you look at like the Acolyte, where you have these conversations where as Mike Joyce pointed out, where there's all this conversation about it, whether good or bad about Acolyte.
Sure.
And then it seems like season 2 of House of the Dragon, season 1, everybody was talking about it. It doesn't seem like anybody's talking about this show this season, right? Am I wrong?
What, for the Acolyte?
No, for House of the Dragon. I'm saying it doesn't. You get all this stuff for Acolyte. People are talking about whether it's good or bad. Everybody's talking about the Acolyte, but then you get House of the Dragon. It doesn't seem like anybody's talking about it.
Well, I think it came back with an underperforming first episode, and I think people are just kind of. I mean, like, honestly, Christian, there's been so much TV in June and July, and I just think people are overwhelmed. And I think there are people talking. I think the amount of people talking about it is growing week to week.
I hope so.
Certainly, what you pointed out earlier, in that the bigger episodes, like the Wang Bang action episodes, are getting more traction.
Right.
But people are coming around to the other ones later on in the week when there's not as much action. So it's weird.
Shaq Ramayan. Without previously on and credits, we have about 37 minutes left in Acolyte. Yeah, I have no idea what they will do, but I think it'll either be rushed or we still have questions left after it ends. Yeah, it really depends. If this is why I think that, and this is not just the Acolyte's fault. I think a lot of shows do this, where they just have so much confidence in their show that they just assume they're getting a season 2 and that the audience is going to want a season 2, so they leave all this stuff. Always make your first season like it's your last season.
Yeah.
Unless you have a guarantee right away that you're getting season 2 or season 3, like just because end it where it's like, well, maybe, but for the most part, it's over. And if
look at Shogun,
like Shogun, and if you have this show where by the end of it you're going, wait, what? And as he points out, you're getting like a 37-minute actual sandwich with the actual meat. I don't know. I don't know what they can do in 37 minutes to really answer any questions.
Yeah. Yeah. I like what Galaxy Geeks just posted. They should have released House of the Dragon in the fall. That's actually a really excellent point.
Yeah.
I wonder if it would have gotten more traction because that's like kind of when people are focused on more art house type fare. And I wonder if it would have gotten that kind of reaction. Yeah.
Would you consider House of the Dragon art house?
Fuck yes, I would.
Really?
Oh yeah. The direction, the writing, the cinematography, the amount of money they spend on the sets, and the concepts they're tackling. Very art house within the conversations. I mean, the script itself.
Okay. Simon Section. R.I.P. to Shannon Doherty. Our House 90210 Charmed. I was an extra on the TV show Charmed, played a guard frozen in time. I saw her talking about yoga. It's awesome. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know what's funny is I didn't, even though everyone thinks 90210, do you know what the first thing I thought of when I started thinking about her?
Mallrats?
100%.
Yeah, ditto.
100%. The same Mallrats. Even when Ethan Super at the end says to her, Brenda, and she dead.
That was great.
So good. Mad Sinister McCallum. Glad your sponsor is BetterHelp because I'll know I need it after this season of Acolyte.
Oh, hello.
Disney needs to hire Arlo. He has more knowledge than the mouse. They would never. They would never.
You couldn't deal.
I would lose my mind.
Yeah, people would come after you like crazy for it.
I would probably, if I was allowed to do one project and work on one project, I would try to get the a Darth Bane miniseries. Or Darth Plagueis miniseries. I would try to get those two, and if I could get those off the ground, I'd work on them and I'd retire. That was it.
Yeah. But then everybody make videos about what's Harloff doing? This ain't plague. Not my Plagueis hashtag.
I got the Galaxy's Edge guy to do it. What's next? Darth Archie. Hey Harloff. Hey Roka. Hope all is well. Interested to see how Mackie Cap fights Red Hulk with no superpowers. Thoughts? I mean, you know, they can make it work somehow. You know, they Batman's fought people before who had superpowers. So they can make it work if they have the right technology.
I seen Hurricane Helms almost beat The Rock. So you never know what can happen. You never know what can happen in fights. So, you know.
Yeah. But I don't know. Do you have any thought on that? How they can make that work? Probably the technology that he's fighting.
Well, people are assuming that he's the Hulk like the Incredible Hulk, but he's not. The Red Hulk is a different Hulk than the Incredible Hulk, different powers, different strength, different all that. Even the size of him in those shots isn't the same size as the Incredible Hulk. So it's a different approach to it. So it all depends. And why are you assuming they're fighting each other? We don't know what they're doing. They may have the initial fight with each other, but then realize they're on the same side. So we have no idea.
Happy Monday, everybody. Christian, if anything, I hope this gets a laugh out of you. How much will it take you to call Makuga to ask him if he's going to introduce his daughter to Zubli Zoo? Because I don't do that anymore. It's going to be a high price. Going to a $200 super chat. Then
wow,
yeah, I'm staking it high because I don't even have my phone on me. I have to find my phone to do that. So, and there's no guarantee he's going to pick up. So it's a risky super chat. Okay, so we keep on going down the line here.
Okay.
And we got it wouldn't be a show without Carlton. London Calling over under 50% that Despicable Me 4 also makes $1 billion alongside Inside Out 2. It's 437 as of today. Who will win? Well, Inside Out 2 is going to beat Despicable Me. I don't think there's a chance that Despicable there's a chance Despicable Me can do it. Do I think it can make $1 billion? I think it could, but I'm not as sure anymore.
Yeah,
I think it could tap out around 800 to 900, but I wouldn't be shocked if it did.
Yeah, I say under 50% that it goes over $1 billion. Yeah. I think it's starting to. I think the next couple of weeks it'll flame out. I think it won't just be as big.
Yeah, I mean there isn't a lot of stuff for kids to see right now, so you still have that, and you're still not going to have anything for kids to see. But I don't know. Shay comes back in. Hey, Eamon has shown more diplomacy as a child than Rhaenyra did in her entire life. I feel for Allison, but she has done no better. She should have done a better job raising her weird and tortured kids. they're all incest weirdos. So,
what diplomacy? He set his brother on fire.
Hey, spoilers.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Markwell, what is your idea of diplomacy? Markwell, do you have any brothers and sisters? They should be worried about you if you think that's diplomacy, for God's sakes.
Maybe. Kay Peterson. I just went to the Hollywood Bowl concert last week. I was bummed John Williams was ill, but I still had a blast. Thanks for the recommendation. I've been wanting to go since I heard you guys talk about it so much. Oh, did he perform and he just was ill?
No, maybe he was ill and just didn't show up. They announced it before the show. I don't remember. I don't know.
So we don't know who performed. Oh, the Hollywood Bowl that is a place that is just a wonderful place to watch concerts.
They always have a backup.
It's so peaceful. Shay comes in again. All hail the one true king, Aemon Targaryen. This is the hill I will die on, my friend. Sorry for blowing up the super chat. I love you all. Don't apologize for that. But I will tell you that look, I think Aemon's a great character. I hate his guts, but I really I think he's a great character. So I think that even last night watching that particular scene of watching the powers that be decide who's going to run the shop, that was the thing I was probably the most vocal in my reaction.
Yeah.
Daniel Breen, did Brett get his burrata slice? Yes, of course he did. It was like the first thing. He wouldn't start working until he got his burrata slice. He caused a fit. Okay. Excalibur, my wife and I watched Dark Matter based on your recommendation. Would you consider doing a review for it? I haven't seen much coverage. Thanks. I think that if I was going to do a review on it, it'd probably be during like an episode of this, where I would do a full episode, because it's just, especially now, I mean, if House of the Dragon is barely pulling in 1.5 thousand views on it. And I'll tell you, that Sam Morril interview, which I love that interview, and what a conversation. That interview barely even hit 3,000 views. These people do not. Everyone always asks me, "What did you bring the interviews back?" Bring the interviews back. I bring them back. They're on the channel. Watch
yeah.
I'm trying to get people, and I'm just going to keep going though. Now I'm not doing what I did last time, where I'm like, they're not watching. I want to do interviews. I love doing interviews. I'm going to keep doing them.
Yeah.
But Dark Matter is tough because I just don't think at this point that people would watch it.
No.
So I'll probably do it on on one of the longer episodes.
Do you have the YouTube subscription thing on your channels or no?
What do you mean?
Because it's like, you can get people to subscribe.
Oh, you mean the what's it called? Memberships.
Yeah, the memberships. Because then you could do like a 5-minute review of it.
Yeah, I think we're doing memberships. We're doing memberships on Down to Earth. We're going to start it in August on the second channel.
Right on.
And then if that turns out to be a success, we might try to do it on this channel.
Cool.
Darth Archie, guys, if the Stranger's master is the fart sniffing shit rat, then I'm back on board with the Disney Star Wars. Fair enough. Thank you, Archie. Always chiming in with something. Oh, Archie. Good art. Hey, fellas, I already asked Christian this, but I'm curious. John, if you've ever seen Mayor of Kingstown or Interview with the Vampire on AMC, in my opinion, two of the best written character-driven shows on TV. He likes both of those.
I do like Mayor of Kingstown. That's a Roca show. Interview with the Vampire, little bit out of Roca's wheelhouse. So I have not seen that one, but I certainly have enjoyed Mayor of Kingstown. Renner is great on that show.
Kaya Mooney. Thank you, Kaya Mooney. Very, very kind of you.
Is that you?
Well, yeah, it was just me. I put it in for myself. Just give myself some self-motivation.
No, I mean, is that Kiani Mundi?
Oh,
how old are you, Kiani? For real.
No, for real. Let us know. Mad Sinister McCallum, name a character outside of House of the Dragon that you like to see become a dragon rider. My pick is Fred Sanford. I was waiting. Mad Sinister McCallum always comes in with like a banger of a joke. Really, maybe to him, he's like, no, it's not a joke. It's serious. I'd like to see the late great Pee Wee Herman. Right?
Hey, come on now.
That'd be great. Who? Oh, Mrs. Garrett would be a good one too.
Oh my God, nice. Is that Brett? Nice.
Yeah, he's working in the other room. But yeah, Mrs. Garrett's good. What about you, John? Who would you pick to ride a dragon? Mrs. Garrett's ridden a few dragons. If you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
I'll think about it. I'll come back.
Mirror Domains. Lou Diamond Phillips said there's a great script for Young Guns 3. He said it's on Rosenbaum's project.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yes.
Placing them at the age they are today. Should probably showcase that. That's from Mirror Domains. How would that work? Young Guns 2 is a great Western. I don't know how that would work because Lou Diamond Phillips died in the movie, in the second one.
He's died in both movies.
No, he didn't die in the. He didn't die in the first.
Oh, he escaped in the last.
No, he escaped in the first one. Yeah. He died in the second one, but everybody died.
He died. He went off into the spirit realm with his people. We don't know if he died.
That's true. It looked like he died, but I mean, it looked like. Clearly Charlie Sheen's dead. Kiefer Sutherland is dead.
Yeah. So did you see Emilio on Bratz on the documentary? No. He's not rushing back to do anything anytime soon. I'd be shocked if they did any kind of script.
I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, unless they did. But that's, again, this goes back to our earlier conversation.
Yeah.
Do it for nothing and put it on streaming. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Look what they did with Beverly Hills Cop. Although that movie cost a lot of money.
$100 and something million. That
cost a lot of money, but that investment paid off for them because of what they were aiming for. They hit.
Yeah. I mean, the Rodeo chase scene alone was probably half the budget.
Easily. Talia Barless, do you think Horizon would have done a little better with more bankable stars? I don't I know stars don't sell tickets, but might have done better. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think that. I think that it would probably put it more in the in problems, more in the red. It would have been because you would have had bigger budget from a already big budget movie. It's the Western 3 hour, and it's
also got mixed reviews.
Yeah, mixed reviews.
That killed it. That's what killed it. Look, Fall Guy had bankable stars up the yin yang. It didn't make the money, and was
also a good review. That also had
got good reviews, and still didn't.
Yeah, so I don't know. Jesus Fernandez, do you think Twisters is a shot at being a hit, considering the budget's $200 million? It releases this past here in Mexico, and it's a super fun summer flick. But that budget scares me. Budget definitely scares me. Hearing good things about it, hearing really good things about it. I'm going to have my out of the theater reaction in just a few hours here. But yeah, it's a risk, especially with Deadpool coming out next week. Yeah. So it is a risk, total risk. It's got a shot to do really well though, because I think it's alternate programming to the superhero movie, and it got a kind of old school. Yeah, and people I talk to are pretty excited about this movie. Yeah. Do you think it's got a shot, John?
Oh yeah, I think it's got a shot to make $1 billion. Come on, put it on the table. I'll put it on the table right now. Fuck, that sucks, man. Tomorrow's the finale and Twister. God damn.
Yep. Darth Archie. I feel for Disney and their leak problem. I got one too. I have to hold my leak till Christmas. And Harlow starts putting out his yard decorations. I know you're coming. I know you're going to make the trip to New York, Archie. You scumbag. I know you will. Oh, rat dog. Well, I still don't blame Archie. I blame the owner. I don't blame Archie. So, and Archie always comes in and gives a super chat. So I can't get too mad at Archie. Maybe he feels bad for pissing on the bag.
Captain Steubing riding a dragon. That would be awesome. Come on.
Figured it out. Eric Krempa, the Chance Cube guy from the O-Town Schmodown again.
Oh,
what's up?
Who's this?
I know you two hate this question on the spot, but why doesn't anyone put Fincher on the best director list? I mean, I think he's got a one of he's
on the list.
I think he's on the list.
Yeah, why wouldn't he be on the list?
I mean, the stuff that I always get. I get very excited for Fincher movies. I thought the last one with Fassbender was fine, but I get excited for his movies.
Yeah, the Hitman or whatever it was called.
Yeah, but I guess not a hitman, but it was about a hitman, but something like that.
Kill List? I don't know.
The Killer, yeah, the Killer.
Killer,
just based off that comic book,
right?
But I would say that people put him in the conversation. I don't think he comes up as much now because he hasn't been as relevant as the other directors. But I think
people are dying, would kill for a season 3 of Mindhunter.
True,
and you know, and I was watching Zodiac again the other night. Fucking great,
so good. Hey fellas, it's Scalaghost. What's up, Scalaghost? Always. Been a while, just dropping some love and support. Much appreciated. Cheers. Studio's looking good so far. Thank you. Yeah, Brett's doing a really good job. We're going to do a full tour of it once it's up and ready to go. But I mean, by tomorrow we're going to be in pretty good shape because that's when Robert Eiler's coming in. So hopefully everything's looking pretty good. The Raven Effect. Joy mode is good for your joystick. Hell yeah, that's right. That's what it is. Working out. Okay. Bam 86. In my opinion, Prey is the coolest looking Predator in the franchise's history. What's your favorite Predator design? I got to go with the original.
Yeah, I can't fault the original.
Your first original, but I did like Prey. Prey was to me a great example of the way that they should be making these movies in the future. Yeah,
good design too.
Yeah. Galagos. Next House of Dragon episode is titled "How to Train Your Dragon." Is it really though? I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
Yeah, man.
Hank Pym coming in hot. The baddest woman in human history has returned. Mammy is back. That's right. She came back. This is a wrestling thing, guys.
Yeah.
Hope it's a squash match at SummerSlam. I'm scared Dom may screw her and Liv retains. I kind of hope that happens.
That will happen.
I hope it does.
She just got back. You don't want to put the strap on her that quickly, and you were just getting things going with Liv. So
give her a chase. Give her a chase. Yeah, let her have a chase. She comes back and gets it right away. It's like, and then who's her competition? She's just gonna be beat. Let her and Liv fight it out for a little bit because I'm not with you. I think Liv is great. I think Liv is a great heel. I think she's doing old school stuff with the way that almost like that stuff she's doing with Dom right now is working. Yeah, I'm digging it. I definitely hope Dom screws over Rhea and winds up.
Well, I love the storyline they're playing with in that Liv is lifting him up, but Rhea was messing with his confidence. So if you play with that story, and every dude's been with someone who messed with their confidence and someone who actually uplifts them. Yeah. And so I think there's a way to play that works really well. It just depends on where you're going. Are you trying to set Rhea up as the villain, as the heel, or do you want Liv to be the heel? So you've got to decide where you're going with that.
You can't make
approach.
No one's going. It's like when I tried to turn, like when Marisol McKee was the bad guy.
Yeah.
And then she started winning and she won the title. And I remember going, I can't, no one's going to boo her. I don't care what she does, what I do, what storyline I write. No one's going to boo her. No one's going to boo Rhea Ripley.
It's like trying to turn Chandru into a face. You just can't do it.
She's 100%. Nobody's gonna boo Rhea Ripley. So you got to go with Liv. Okay, Simon section, Mr. Rocco. I'm eagerly awaiting your reaction to The Boys seasons, episode 7.
Yeah, I'm dropping it today. So look for that a little bit later on tonight because I'm dropping the other one, the fucking House of Dragon first, and then sorry, I'm cussing so much. Sorry.
Pooch Shoot Riot. Have you guys ever watched Freaked? I hear good things. I haven't seen it though. Such a weird but awesome flick directed by and stars Alex Winters and all-star cast. That's the Vince Vaughn one, right?
Oh, I guess I've never seen it.
Yeah, I heard it was. I think
Freaky. Are you talking Freaky, the Vince Vaughn, Catherine Newton one?
Oh, that's what I brought up. So I don't know what Freaked is. I'm not sure what that is. Excalibur. Can I get y'all's pitch for the story if you were hired to write the Star Wars sequel trilogy? I don't know as much of a story, but what I can tell you is that I would have definitely gone with transitioning. Give the episode 7 to the old cast and let us get Leia, Luke, and Han together in one story together, and then transfer it over and let them all start with the 3 of them together, and then they start breaking off all 3 on different adventures with different new characters.
Yep.
And start planning. Don't rehash the Death Star. Don't rehash all this stuff, and let them have their own adventures and show what the world is and all these different things. And it would be more so eventually letting them hand over, pass the torch to new people. So that's what I would do.
I would have them explain why Kylo is so upset. I would have them explain what that issue was. But I agree with what you're saying. I think it would have been great to have a 2-hander cast of crew. Cast, where I'm saying one side is all the old cast getting together. We have a storyline for them. The young cast getting together. We have a storyline for them. And then it intersects halfway through the second movie. And then boom, you set things up for the third movie and all of them know their respective spots. The greatest mistake they made was to not do any scenes with the 3 of them actually in the same room together. I don't know how that passed logic in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, didn't make sense. Okay. And then Armada, Finstock and Frank Stallone as the new heads of Lucasfilm. Sure. At this point, can't get any worse. let's see. So Talia Barlow, Godfather Part 4. What's become of the 5 families? And who knows? I haven't really caught up. I'm surprised there's no website that gives you a breakdown. I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
The Mad Sinister McCall horror specials planned for October for the big thing. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a Halloween thing. I'm not sure yet. It's still kind of, developing. Hank Pym, will Priest beat Gunther? No chance in hell. No, Gunther will be the heavyweight champion.
I don't know.
I think that if it wasn't going to happen before, the botch pretty cemented it.
Ooh, good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Possibly.
I think Damien's a good side character. He's not main event level.
Yeah, not yet. He may turn into that.
Maybe he's not bad. He's not. I mean, if you have an opportunity to put the strap on Gunther, you put it on him. Screwface John, what's up?
Hey,
I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Actually, he was here last week, but I haven't had a chance to. We got to bring him back on the show.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, Kristen. I don't think there was enough Brett Painted on this live. Your comment, by the way, was hilarious. He said that Screwface John said that I think it was really nice that Brett let Christian, be on his show, his painting show, talking about movies. But yeah, Brett's right now. Brett's done with painting. He's done now. Brett's hanging shit.
Brett doing a Bob Ross show would be hilarious.
Yeah, it would be. My wife was like really on Brett last night to start his own handyman business.
You should. He should.
That's what she told him last night.
Handyman YouTube business.
Not doing it. Not no, but just he can make a killing in LA if he wanted. Simon section. Regardless of how well or bad the Acolyte ends, your guys' first reaction to the Skeleton Crew teaser may or may not break me. I like the old man. I'm excited for that. Well, I'm looking forward to that show because of the old man, because of Watts, and because you're not going to like that show because you don't like Goonies. It's going to be like Goonies meets Stranger Things.
I am not looking forward to Skeleton.
No, it's not for you. No. Sohan, Can we have a conversation about ticket prices? We love to blame theaters. They can't charge less because they lose money. People can't go because it's too expensive. Studio says people don't show up, so it's risky. What is the solution? I think part of the solution is cutting the budgets because they're trying to make money back through that. I think you can lower ticket prices. I don't think you can lower concessions because that's really where they make the money. But it's like this concession. I went to this where I'm living. There's like 3 AMC's around here, right? But everyone says go to this one because it's the only one that is like up to date.
Yeah.
So I go to this one that's not because I went to take my kids to the Despicable Me screening and it was like nobody was in there, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to go. Maybe it was half full. The good theater was sold out. So we go and I'm like, okay, it's very like early 2000s. They haven't probably kept up with it since then. So I'm like, okay, the water bottle's probably less, right? $9 water bottle. And I'm like, not here. I'm like, you can't do that. You can't, like, I understand if I'm going to a really good movie theater and you're going to inflate the prices. Okay, I'm getting the surround sound, I'm getting the big screen, not this piece of shit. You give me that water bottle for free because I came into this theater. And so I said to them, you guys gonna do my taxes after I pay for this? And she's like, no, but we're gonna charge you $9. I'm okay, great. Yeah. Anyway, Mike, Joyce, now that wall is done, we'll paint himself. Maybe. The next thing we're gonna do is hang those. We got a lot of different pictures, a lot of ones that were behind me beforehand, but we printed out a bunch of other ones. So we're gonna put that up there next. Okay. Late night alum. If Austin Theory turns face, how over will he be? He's got a good shot, Roker, right?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah, if they play it out right, he'll be like The Miz. He's just like The Miz.
Yeah.
You can essentially track him like you track The Miz.
Yeah.
Face or heel. He'll work.
Pooch Shoot Riot. Any chance to chat with Griffin Nooms? Yeah, I reached out to Griffin, I think about a couple weeks ago and asked him if he would want to come into studio. And he said, yes. So we just have to figure out when that is. And I haven't really, my goal was I have a list of people in New York that I'm going to start making like a real push to once. What I didn't want to do is put more pressure on Brett. Like, hey, I have this person that's coming in now. Can the studio be done? Can the studio be done? I'm letting him work at his own pace because he's only going to be here for so long.
Right.
And then I'm going to start having people in. Yeah.
Stock exchanges, Griffin Newman.
That's right. Call me Jabba. Before The Last Jedi, flashbacks have never been used in live-action Star Wars. Do you think that might be a big flaw of Acolyte trying to copy storytelling technique from the most divisive Star Wars film? No. They took a shot doing. I don't think. I mean, technique. That's not. I mean, I wouldn't say Last Jedi is the beacon of flashbacks. What do you think, John?
It's not a flashback. I'm trying to get people to understand that the Acolyte did not use a flashback. No one was having a modern day scene and then remembered something from. No, it's a completely different episode in its own encapsulated within itself. Right. So both of those episodes are not flashback episodes. Those are straight episodes from a different time in the story. So
I agree. Yeah, I agree. There was a flashback in Last Jedi when he's thinking about that thing, but I agree. It's not a flashback episode. 100%. When you say that, I mean, I didn't really even think about it, but hearing you say it, I agree with you 100%. Okay. Mallory Garrett, not movie related, but husband and I are wanting to add another little one to our family. Christian, do you have words of wisdom for me as a fellow parent going from 1 to 2 kids? Well, Mallory, the advice for you would come from my wife, as the one, because I don't want to pretend that me and your husband are the ones, because we're not going through it. We're going through it in a way where, we're going to be there for you. We're going to support you and all that, and anything you need type situation. But it's a matter of what's right for you guys, and because if you're gonna add, then I don't expect you to tell me that, but I don't know how old you are. I don't know like these things. Like there are certain times, certain people like in their early 20s, they like we're gonna have 4 or 5, and they pop them out. They do this, they 3, whatever it might be. Then there's other people that you might be. I know people who are like our good friend Mark Riley. Mark Riley is 50 years old. Just had his first. So it's like. It's a matter of planning, and it's like and even when I say that, I remember when we had the first one. I remember telling Miri Jetigan that my wife and I were planning on, where we didn't know the time was right. She said, you never know when the time is right. You feel it, and then it is, and that's really what it is. But as far as, and I don't know how old your first is, but it's like I have like a 5.5 year difference between my two kids, and there's a lot of different things I could tell you inside of that, of the advice and the non-advice, but it's just, you'll know, and you take the things that you learn with the first and you implement that with the second. What do you say, John?
As someone with no kids,
right?
I'll tell you, you're not as precious with the second one as you are with the first.
Yeah.
Make sure they have a good relationship with each other. That's super important.
That's true.
Make sure you can financially support a second child as well. That's another part of it all. But yeah, watch the second child, because you want to make sure the second child doesn't grow up with a bitterness or a jealousy or an envy of the first child, because that happens. So as long as you're aware of that.
And the opposite side of that is, like, I can tell you that the second kid usually gets a lot of attention.
Yes, right.
Where the first goes, hey, wait a minute, what about me? Remember me? And it's just because, yeah, it is a
lot of upkeep.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, listen. Thanks for joining us here today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the wonderful super chats and questions. All right, John, you told us once before. Tell us again, where can they find you?
I got to go. Before I do, though, come find me at The Roca Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and my YouTube channel, youtube.com/John Roca Says, where we talk about everything going on in the world of entertainment, politics, sports, pro wrestling. It's all there on my channel. The Hot Mic, The Jedi Way, Spill the Tequila now, Geek Buddies, my stuff, and what else? And coming soon, we'll be coming back with the wrestling show. So come and subscribe, youtube.com/John Roca Says. Christian, thanks. And thanks to everybody. Great seeing you guys on a Monday. Bye.
Appreciate it. Thanks, John. All right, guys. Thank you once again for being with us. As always, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, the Clips channel, please do that. Now, I know that some people, as I told you, if you can get a sponsor, that's how you help us. If you threw out the super chat here today, you helped us financially, obviously. But if you can't do that, you're like, I can't do that. Subscribe to that Clips channel. We're going to start putting more and more things over there. And as I do these interviews and I do more of them, as I said, I got Robert Eiler coming in. I got Hawk from Cobra Kai. I'm going to do Jacob's coming. We're going to have a conversation, he and I. So we got a lot of great potential guests coming in also. So we'd love to get you guys over there on that channel. Subscribe to this channel here, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. I really, really thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks to you. Thanks to me. Thanks to Brett. Thanks to everybody. All right. We'll see you later.